Oh, Brian, what have you done now?
Well, I love you dearly.
Love you too.
Brad, hang on. I saw you the other day.
You did. How are you?
What were we talking about?
Probably the other film.
Was it Dead of Winter?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, that's hilarious. And you were so, and I absolutely adored you. I'm so glad to see you again.
Well, look, I appreciate the two of you taking time to talk about this series, which I absolutely loved. I love this show so much. And let me start here because I'm sure when y'all received this project and started reading through the scripts, the writing of this show is so phenomenal. I can only imagine when you're reading through it, you cannot wait to get to the next page. It is that good.
That's right. That's so good of you to point that out because it is all the writing. I mean, we were thrilled to the idea of working with Ruth was such an exciting one, but I wouldn't have done it if the writing hadn't been so good that I knew it would support us all the way through.
Yeah, and it does. And Ruth, I'm assuming you had a similar reaction when you were reading through the script. I'm assuming this is one that you can't put down when you start it.
You're exactly right. I read the first episode, and it's a page turner. You read it really fast. You're excited. You're surprised. It's shocking. It's funny. And you just want to know what's going to happen next. So I only got one episode, but I signed on one episode because
well, one's enough to get you hooked in. And I'm telling you, the first episode is so great. And I wanted to ask the two of you, when you look through a script like this and you start trying to dissect it, do you look for a particular line of dialogue or a particular scene that really informs you the most about your character? You know, Emma, there's a scene in the first episode with you and Adam Godley where you're kind of going through everything in the office and having this interplay that told me so much about your character. Do you look for those moments?
I'll tell you what I look for. I look for dialogue, accuracy, and originality. A lot of scripts will come through and everyone sounds the same. But in really good writing, everyone has their own way of talking, as they do in real life. You know, there's not one sound. So that's the first thing I look for. Is dialogue and character. Can I believe in all of them? And then it's story, you know, because without a really good story, I don't look really for scenes and I don't look for my own scenes because everyone's writing has to be as good. One of the worst things you can do is go see something and one person's writing is great and everyone else's is not.
Yeah, I can imagine that would be the most fun thing, especially when you see it as on the page as an actor. But Ruth, same question to you. Do you look for a launch pad line of some kind, a line of dialogue that informs you the most? And was there one particularly in this show that informed you about your character?
I'm trying to think. I think similar to Emma, I look at the whole thing. You look at the energy of the piece. You think, does this feel different? Does this feel different to what I've done before? Does it feel like unique in some way? And so that's often a combination of story, writing, and also, I suppose particularly to the character, I felt like, well, I don't know, I was like, she's really unique in a way that she doesn't really belong in this show. Like doesn't belong in this genre. She's like an everyday person. She's like you or me, who suddenly finds themselves in a conspiracy thriller. I mean, and so I was like, that's really interesting as a way of subverting the genre. And how do I maintain that relatability in something that's quite genre-led? That was the challenge for me and really interesting to explore for that character.
Well, I love this genre in general. This, the mystery thriller, this conspiracy happens to probably be my favorite there is. What do you think the biggest appeal was for you, Emma and Ruth, about the genre itself and working within the tropes and confines sometimes you find in these genres?
I just love the humor in this.
Humor. Very funny show.
It just makes me happy. And that's what makes it work. I think any entirely humorless thriller it's not a lot of fun. You know, it doesn't have to be laugh out loud funny. It doesn't have to be comedic, but there has to be wit. There has to be, because, it just, otherwise it renders it humorless and very flat. So that's what really got me.
It's the same with me. It was like the characters, the specificity of writing around the characters and what they are. They're funny. They're not necessarily witty, like you say, or have. I mean, Emma's character has a lot of witty lines, but it's what they do is also funny, or how they deal with a situation is funny, and that's really human. I mean, it is like what you would do in that scenario. So I think Morwen is very good at looking at the absurdity of humans and their the human condition, and putting that into a thriller. You know, that's why it was so exciting to be part of. And every day on set, you were finding the humor of the moment. You know, yeah, that was the best bit about it, I think.
The humor is a great through line in this show, and the show is fantastic. Like I said, I can't tell you enough how much I loved it and loved getting able to speak to you again, Emma and Ruth. Thank you so much for taking the time today. Congratulations again.
Thanks, Brad. It's lovely to see you. Lovely.
You have a good one.
Oh, Brian, what have you done now?
Well, I love you dearly.
Love you too.